Good evening, race fans. Welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. No, the big announcement is not that I've done away with Clinton Geoffrey and he's leaving. He's having some challenges getting his stuff sorted out. But I even asked, can I open the show tonight? Because the last couple of weeks he's had technical issues leading up. And I'm like the stand-in, like someone's stunt double who only goes in when necessary. And I've been ready the last 2 weeks, and he pops in just before the show starts, and he's able to take it over and call the way. So it's kind of a lunch bag letdown for me. I thought I'm going to have all that responsibility, and then I didn't. Folks, we've got a very big show for you tonight. We've got some guests coming on who will give away some of that. And as you can see, if you're looking at the rundown, we've got Mike Garrow coming on. We've got Alan Dietz coming on. We've got Alex Nagy coming on. Joel Robinson coming on. And that's why if you're a race fan in and around Ontario, particularly of short track racing, we've got some exciting stuff coming up for you that you're going to want to see. I can see Clinton Geoffrey. We can't yet hear him. I think he's still working on things. We expect our first guest tonight to be Mike Garrow. You may be familiar with that name, Mike Garrow from Rev TV. So we are excited to see Mike stop by. Moist Boy Express. I have to give you credit for the name. Sup Legends. Credit for the shout out as well. I know Clinton is the favorite. He's everybody's favorite. And he looks a lot better on camera than I do. I'm meant to be behind the scenes, sometimes heard, rarely seen. I'm okay with that. Talk about Sunset on Saturday. It looked like a great show. I saw some video. Don't know why I didn't go. I probably should have. But to see Sheridan open up with a win, Kyle Steckley with a solid run, great looking field of late models. Looked like a good crowd there, people having a good time. So Brian Toddish and his management group, the people that run the place, doing a good job. They're off to a great start, and we look forward to what they have going on. Stickers and Scuffs, welcome. Link, no, you don't see your name on the list because we can't trust that you will wear a shirt. I keep looking at the comments. Yeah, I wear black because it is slimming. Clinton still, so I can see, if you could see what we see, we have a little screen below what's being shown to everybody watching. And below you can see both of the hosts and you can see the guests. So we can kind of see when they're ready to come on and they're coming on. We've got a chat box to the left side so we can read the comments that are coming in. And now Clint's throwing his hands up. Now I can see him getting front. As they continue to work on things, I'll block out the bottom of that screen. So we wait for our guest as well. This Friday night, Ohsweken Speedway is scheduled to open up for practice night with opening night the following week. So we really hit the ground running. We've got this weekend where we are at Sunset with the NASCAR Pinty Series. Fun way to open the schedule. And then the following weekend, if all goes well, it is Ohsweken Speedway Friday night, Canadian Tire Motorsport Park on Saturday. Saturday night, head over to Sunset Speedway, go back to CTMP on Sunday for what is always one of the most fun events all year long. Thanks so much for the people showing up in the chat and checking in. If you were at Sunset Speedway, feel free to comment on what you saw. We'd love to see what you have to say. And without further ado, our guest has arrived, and Spencer says he is queued up and ready. Join me in welcoming Mike Garrow from Rev TV. And Clinton, I hear you, but Mike Garrow, great to have you, man. It's been a little while, but I've been watching your product a lot. Talk to us about Rev TV, and things are going well for you.
It's been a minute, Adam, but great to see you. And I've been watching some of the videos, and I hear you've been in some serious training as of late.
We're trying. Got a long way to go, man. Long way to go. Now, right. Clint's offered to eat a banana for every pound I lose. Mike, I'm not going to ask you for money on screen, but If you want to join Clinton eating bananas, you want to do some sort of party trick for the pounds we lose, you are more than welcome to participate in the fun.
I appreciate that. And I think any challenges for people is always a good thing. So hats off to you for taking part.
Well, Mike, I didn't have much faith in my brother here, Adam, but if that becomes the theme and I have to get healthy by eating bananas instead of drinking Pepsis all summer, it'll be a worthwhile thing. But Mike, let's talk about it. You know, we had an association prior to pandemic with Ush Weekend running live. We got back together about a month ago and started talking about the possibilities of what we could do to get G-Force and Rev TV back together. And I think you and your team, Ed, and everybody over there have been great to deal with. And we're super proud to announce it. Do you want to say it tonight, or do you want me to let it fly?
No, go ahead. Go ahead, and then I can chime in after.
So we're super proud to announce that G-Force and Rev TV have partnered up, and we're going to be presenting a 2-hour block on Wednesday nights on Rev starting May 24th. And it's going to run every Wednesday throughout the racing season and featuring a lot of our partners and tracks that we go to. And super proud to be bringing the APC, the Quick Super Stocks, and the Ush Weekend Dirt guys, along with some of the other selected races that we cover with G-Force in a packaged event on Wednesdays. Adam, I'll throw over to you because you explained earlier how important it is and how cool it is to be able to sit down, put on your TV, and watch yourself on TV. The beauty of this is you're still going to be able to catch it live on G-Force, but it's going to be packaged again for everybody to sit down and for your sponsors. And, you know, it's huge news for us and our partners.
Yeah, and Mike, I'm sure you can attest to this because this is what you sell. But as much as, and we push streaming, we love streaming, it is the way of the future. It's the way of the youth movement. But still, the demographic you want, the ones who write the checks, are those adults who sit down in a chair after a long day of work, pick up the remote, and flip on a channel. And you cannot, it's so hard to break that barrier of, you stream it, but is it on TV? Now it's on TV, and these teams can push that. They can promote that. The series can promote it. It's going to look phenomenal. Talk about Rev TV and all the exciting things, because your lineup has expanded quite a bit as well since prior to the pandemic when we were doing business.
For sure. And I guess first and foremost, Adam, I just want to start off by saying I think what you guys have done, Spencer, Daniel, all the other people working behind the scenes, and how you've taken in a very short period of time all of your various skill sets and been able to kind of take it to other tracks and series and stuff across Ontario has been amazing. And the production quality, I will certainly attest, and I've watched it in the past myself. Saw it again last summer when I ran into Spencer up at Sauble when you're doing with stuff with the APC guys. I think there's some great stuff there. And I think that the viewers, you know, every Wednesday night, we've got some great programming around it. In fact, the show that will be leading before you guys come on is Wing Nation from our friends from NASCAR and the Motorsport Network. So that'll be the lead in. We've got some other great shows, 52 Weeks of Motorhead Garage that'll play just before that as well. So I think it's a really nice fit in terms of the audience. And I really do look forward to kind of building upon that with you guys.
Now, Mike, we had talked about doing live events. That was the original goal. So we are not giving up on just taking the stream and repackaging it. Our team and your team are working on new ways to basically cut the cost. I mean, to pull back the curtain, it's a large cost to transmit a television quality signal from a place like Sauble Beach back to, you know, Toronto, wherever the headquarters are, depending on the broadcast. And I think, you know, that's the other thing. We're already transmitting to the net, so that can be done to the network, but TV is a different transmission method. And I think it's going to allow us to really package things up. But as you've said to me, even as we were finalizing the press releases and that today, you said, you know, we want to keep this open, the ability to do a lot more live events and continue to push that envelope. So we're not stopped there. I mean, the majority of this deal is going to surround the APC, the Quick Wicks, and the Ush Weekend series for now. But our partners at Brighton Speedway, Humberstone, these other places we go to that have been with us throughout the pandemic are going to get some love too, and we'll make sure of that. But, you know, Mike, the other thing we want to discuss is how quickly all this came together. Like it was about 3 weeks ago we started discussing it, and here we are, and we're super proud to be putting this together. In about 2 weeks we'll be live.
No, absolutely. And I think, you know, as we all know, there's a lot of things have changed over the course of the pandemic. Obviously, you know, we went through a rebranding that my partners and I chose to do. I think we've kind of really evolved in terms of our overall offering, taking nothing away from our what it was as a predecessor, because we still do feature other forms of grassroots programming, if you will, across Rev TV's platform. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we're over 130 live races on Rev. You know, we've got some serious top brands on here on top of that, including MotoGP, that we have not only all the live MotoGP races, but all the sprint races, very similar to that of the Formula One format. IMSA WeatherTech series is on Rev. You know, a variety of other two-wheel to four-wheel, everything in between, and you know, lifestyle shows. So we're literally pushing it, and I think by adding another layer of the programming that G-Force can represent, and also, again, it's always been one of our goals here with Rev to continue to showcase Canadian content in the marketplace. And I think we've done so. We've done it with a variety of other races that we've had. Unfortunately, the Rattler 300 wasn't able to be pulled off from Penticton over the weekend, but we were prepared to go live. And I think that that maintains our commitment. And I think really, Clinton, our early days and where we are today, and to your point, Adam, I mean, Clinton, pulling this together in 3 weeks, you guys had all the stuff already buttoned up. You know, you guys have done a great job at kind of working with the various tracks and series and stuff to pull it together. And I think knowing the quality in that, it became a real natural fit for Ed and I to look at it, and Ed Canerva's on heading up our programming and marketing, to say, hey, let's do this. You know, we know that there's going to be some great programming that they're going to have. And Adam, to your point, with a lot of the viewers that we find with Rev is they're not necessarily the cord cutters. They're the types that will add an app or a streaming service and stuff. So case in point, you know, we'll have World Rallycross on Rev TV. So we have like an, you know, 1 hour show every other rally that airs, but at the same time, we're promoting Rally Plus. So if someone wants to truly rally along with a particular driver or team, they can do so. So we really view the way Rev kind of operates is that, albeit it's in the television, or as I say, internet, because they're all internet providers, whether it's Bell, Shaw, Rogers, Videotron, TELUS, you know, you name the platform, they all have the system. So I think that this is a natural fit. I think if anything, as people will see in the release tomorrow, Clinton, that this is just an extension of what G-Force TV is doing. And now we've been able to also showcase it here on Rev.
No, it just makes a lot of sense. In a selfish way, well, I guess it's not selfish because everybody wins. I love this 2 hour block on a Wednesday, because as hard as we try to trim the fat out of a program, out of a live show, you still have a little bit of time that's down. And when it comes to a live stream, you rely on the fans being absolutely engaged to be able to wait out what might be a 5 or a 6 minute victory lane session. That 2 hour block is going to be trim the fat, entertainment from start to finish. Clinton, you would know more about this type of editing that's going to need to be done, but am I wrong that it's just going to be tight, good racing? We should be able to feature most of the divisions on a given night, wherever
Absolutely.
we are.
And Adam, that was one of the things that Clinton and I spoke about, and when we're talking to Spencer on the post side, is making sure we do showcase the various divisions that happen from the various, you know, tracks and series. So I'm very happy that you commented on that, Adam.
Yeah, and you know, it really shows the series and the tracks in their best light, and that's the hardest part. Like Adam said, when you're live, you try and keep things as smooth as you can. But even us, we sit around and look at some of those extended pauses, and they seem even worse when you're sitting at home. But the other thing, to our marketing partners who've been with us, this is amazing. Mike and Ed have given us an opportunity to bring some of them along with us too. So, man, it's a great time to be partnered with us. I'm super proud of this deal, and Mike, we're so looking forward to it. So just to look at the schedule, how it's going to work is basically we've set this up is the APC series will get precedence. So if we're in an APC race on Saturday or on the weekend, it will air on the following Wednesday. The nights or weeks there aren't APC events, it'll be the Ush Weekend race from the previous week. So we're excited about that. The other thing, Mike, I was looking over our contract today before we came on the air. So each one of these events is, well, I was just pulling out some good points because I thought, you know, there's some great notes in there that the fans and the teams who are watching tonight should know. you're committed to not just one replay. All of these broadcasts are scheduled to be up 6 times in replay, so that's about 70 broadcasts for the APC series and about 70 to 75 for Osh Weekend. We're still working on trying to figure out a way to bring the Canadian Sprint Car Nationals live on the Friday and Saturday of that weekend too. So, like we said, we're committed to pushing this even further down the speedway, but I think for now we're off to a great start to get things rolling.
Yeah, absolutely, Clinton. And I think, to that point, for all of the various teams that are speaking to, last minute sponsors and trying to get them aboard, I think, though, that additional on-air time, if you will, can be of value. I mean, Rev now has over 1.3 million subscribers across Canada. So that's it's a pretty good number. And as you said, you're bringing a lot of the brands that you guys have been working with. Obviously, Rev has a number of brands that are on there, and they'll also be featured through. And I think it's just, again, it's a great fit all in all. And timing has now happened, and it's worked out very well, I think, for all of us. And I think for all the fans, teams, tracks, and series.
Mike, thank you so much for stopping by, Mike. We appreciate you coming on. Looking forward to seeing you this summer, and looking forward to what we're able to build together.
Yeah, no, I am too, and looking forward to certainly getting out to a number of the tracks. And I know, Clinton, we talked about this offline, but a lot of the things that have kind of gone on with the further developments around Oshwegan, excited to get out there. Heard nothing but good things from last year, and I'm sure you guys are going to have a great season there. But again, all the tracks that are involved, again, we're very excited to have you guys and showcase you on Rev TV across the nation.
Thanks, Mike. Have a great night. We're super proud to get working with you guys, and to be able to bring this to our teams is a major honor. So thank you for the opportunity.
Nope, us as well, guys. Have a great evening. And again, Spencer, thanks for getting this hooked up.
Thanks, Mike.
And
so that's our first big story. Go ahead.
But wait, there's more. Just like ShamWow or Slap Chop, there's more. There's lots coming tonight. The announcements are going to keep on coming. And Clinton, we have talked a little bit about the legitimacy of television, and for many years, since basically we bought Dirt Track Digest so many years ago, it's been very frustrating to us that TV gets all the love and the internet's a second-class citizen. But it's kind of, even though we've had great success that we're very, very proud of, it's always been, but if you were on TV, it could be this much more. And now we're going to be on TV, and I think it's going to be that much more, not just for us, but for the teams. Looking at Jamie Dyson commenting, well, I'm a label peeler anyhow, Jamie, so I would probably still peel the label, unless someone paid me to drink their delicious beverage, and then I would sport the label. But for any team, any track who is marketing-driven, advertising-driven, people who get the big picture, Clinton, this should be a profit center for them.
Yeah, and, it's definitely another tool in the tool belt, to be able to say, hey, we're featured on TV. Even when your billboards are being sold, you're going to see them. The cameras are there. I look at, all the stuff that we're going to announce tonight as a bit of a way for us to show that we're still trying to give back as much as we can. Sure, it's great for us to be out there, but I'm super happy we can give these opportunities to the teams. I think we have some great personalities out there. Alex Nagy is ready to join us now. And it's a good lead-in if he's ready, Spencer. You can bring him along whenever he is. And then Alex from the APC series. How you doing, buddy? He's still muted, Spencer. Just speak when you're ready, Alex, when we can hear you. Alex,
I'm good. How are you?
Good, Alex. Alan Dietz is coming on to join us from Racing America, and Alex hooked us up with him. And I guess we can get this, just throw it right out there right now, right, Adam? Well, no time to be present. So, in addition to being rebroadcast live on Wednesday nights on Rev TV, the APC series has now made a deal with us and GeForce TV and Racing America. So we are going to be bringing the APC series and GeForce TV to racingamerica.com. So that is big for us. There's huge markets in the States. And Alex, I'll throw it to you first off to maybe explain to even maybe some of the dirt fans what Racing America is before we get Alan on, and maybe explain why this is a big deal for the teams in the series.
Yeah, I mean, Alan can explain it further, but basically Racing America is the former Speed 51, which I used speed51.com at Jacassa Motor Speedway, formed a bit of a relationship with those folks, and our somebody that we all know, Kendra Adams, also did some work with that group, and also as it transformed into Speedway or Racing America. So just a natural fit there, I think. And Alan touched base with me to see if we had any interest. And of course, it was really, it wasn't my sole decision, our sole decision. We had to make sure that you folks at G-Force would be willing. Then as you had Mike on just before us, and as that, it's just kind of funny how all these deals started to come together at the same time. And as soon as Alan sent me a note, I touched base with you the next day, I believe it was, and next thing you know, we're on a call, and here we are today.
So the new face on the bottom of the screen, Alan Dietz, welcome to Rivalz Race Chat. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, glad to be with you. Glad to talk about this new partnership. We're really excited about it.
Alan, maybe you can bring us up to speed on what Racing America is for folks who don't know it, and give us the Coles notes if you can for some of our viewers who may not be up to speed.
Well, Alex kind of hit some of the high points of where Racing America evolved from Speed 51, and I guess it was about 3 years ago, the Race Team Alliance, which is, I think it's the 16 teams that basically are the full-time NASCAR Cup Series teams, equally, well, I don't know about equally, but each invested in what Racing America has become, RTA Media and RacingAmerica.com. So, we wanted to keep our focus continued on short track racing, but we've expanded. If you go to RacingAmerica.com, you'll see more NASCAR Cup content, and we're trying to get more exclusive content and basically just work with our Cup team partners to, to be able to get more of the stuff that they create and that we create out there to the general public. But they also wanted to continue to, make inroads with the grassroots community. So whereas Speed 51 was kind of had a little bit of everything from dirt to asphalt, we've tried to consolidate our coverage more and more towards pavement late models. So through RacingAmerica.tv, if you become a subscriber, you're going to be able to watch all the APC races and a few more. And I'm really excited about this. I mean, I probably started talking to Kendra about it maybe 2 years ago, but this is something that's been on my radar for a long time. And we just had to make the proper connections between us, Alex, and Clinton. And I'm very excited. All of us are very excited.
And I mean, it's where you want to be. If you're a pavement late model racer, Racing America is where you want to be showcased. So we're excited to put our product there, to put other eyeballs on it. It should be a win-win-win. But Alan, I got a bit of an issue right now. You talk with an awful Southern drawl to be having a Kansas City Chiefs helmet behind you. What is up with that?
Well, you've got to understand that when I was growing up, I was born in 1978. So we didn't have the Carolina Panthers until, 1995. And I live in Charlotte and I do pull for the Panthers, but I grew up being a huge Joe Montana fan. And towards the end of his career, when he went to Kansas City, I've pulled for the Chiefs ever since. So I am not a bandwagon fan. I've been on board for over 30 years. And there was some very bad years, so it's been a very good last 5 years for sure.
I couldn't help myself, but back on topic, and I don't mean, well, I do mean to put you on the spot. What kind of viewership numbers, what kind of numbers does Racing America draw on a given weekend in the summer? How many people are watching what you're putting out there? Is that something that you would know off the top of your head?
Yes, but I can't tell you. that's that's proprietary information. And you got Flow and XR and Pit Row and Dirt and everything else out there. But maybe towards the last year of Speed 51, it became a subscriber service, or you could subscribe to watch races. And I would say in that time, which granted it had to have a beginning, but from that beginning, it's grown about 3 times. And then the great thing about us too is in the instance where we have pay-per-view races like the Snowball Derby or the Oxford 250 or what have you, you don't have to be a subscriber. You can watch those pay-per-views without being a subscriber. But what we try to do is we try to give our subscribers some pretty hefty, we try to give them some pretty hefty deals as far as dropping the price for them a little bit. And basically, it's one of those deals with those bigger events. It's partnerships between us and the tracks, and the promoters, are a big part of the decision making that goes in behind making them pay-per-views. But we share those proceeds with the promoters, and I like to say it's an e-ticket. It's just like buying a grandstand ticket, so the track's still getting something back. And in the case of these subscriber races, like the APC races are going to be, 90% of the people in the United States watching on RacingAmerica.tv are not going to be able to go to these APC races. So I don't think it's taken away from anything that the series or G-Force is doing. And then we try to work deals out to where it does offset some of the cost if you have people that are maybe in the area and say, hey, I'm going to sit home due to bad weather. We understand that, and that's why we try to work deals out with these series to give something back to them in those instances.
Mm-hmm.
Alex, let's talk quickly before we let you guys go. How important is this for the series as an add-on to what we're doing?
Really important. We're like you folks and Alan and people at Racing America. We're really excited. With the Racing America side, like Alan said, a lot of US subscribers are going to get to see our product now that would have never seen it before for the most part. I was excited when Alan, when he approached us about the APC series specifically. That was a product that they were really shooting to be part of. He said it was on our radar for a couple of years. So that was nice. And of course, the partnership between ourselves, you at G-Force, Racing America, Rev TV, to put all these pieces together. I think you touched on it earlier. It's such a huge win-win, especially, we're going to showcase some US people, the great racetracks we have here in Ontario and great promoters. We're going to, it's good for our partners, good for your partners, good for Racing America's partners. And most importantly, good for our racers to show their brand and to show their talents and to also showcase their partnerships in different ways. So it's exciting. It's all fresh. I think Adam touched on it earlier. It's really what we make of it as a group, and that includes the teams and everybody else. And if we make the most of it, the fans are going to win, and that's the most important.
I'll tell you what, one great thing about this, Alex, and just kind of popped into my mind is Canada is a different element. And it used to do, Alex, you would attest to this, it used to do wonders for Canadian racing when CASCAR was featured on the Speed Network all winter long. So
Yes.
CASCAR racers became names in the U.S. because it was fed to them and it was a quality product. So for all the race teams that go to the PRI show, this just adds a level of relevance that, Clinton, G-Force TV could have never given. We do great things. I'm very proud of what we do, but this adds again an element where these teams and these drivers can walk into a booth at the PRI show or any place in the US and they will be more recognizable than they would have been before. And I don't know how you put a price tag on that, Alex.
You're absolutely 100% correct, Adam. And one of the most exciting things for me is, and I know that you folks know this, I know Alan knows a little bit, he's about to see more of it, but I put our people, teams, drivers up against anybody, anywhere in North America. And now people all over the world are going to, not the people all over the world before weren't seeing it, but more specifically, a US-based streaming service like Racing America is going to, like you said, showcase the talent we have here. And I'm excited.
The other thing that I like about this, before we get Alan to take us home, is, let's look at who owns Racing America. The NASCAR teams that a lot of these up and coming racers here aspire to be. So they're going to be watching too. We have a lot of important eyes in a more focused way than we ever have had before. Alan, before we let you gentlemen go, quickly, let's just talk about the first broadcast, the first simulcast. So we'll still be live and free on GeForce, but for all the Racing America subscribers, it'll be there too. We're looking at next weekend, so not this coming weekend. We're about 10 days out or whatever it is. It'll be the 20th of May here in the afternoon. Will be our first live simulcast. Alan, for our viewers, in closing, why should they subscribe to RacingAmerica.com?
Well, you'll get a ton of pavement races from Florida to Washington State, and now, in Ontario, and a couple of American Canadian Tour races in Quebec. And, I told both of you guys, and I want everybody watching this show to know, Canada is a very, very untapped market. Why NASCAR has not got a couple of cup races up there is beyond me. I'm not really sure what the disconnect is, but that was part of the reason I was aware of the APC. There's a bunch of great racetracks up there. The car counts are great, and it's a product that is on par or better than some of the stuff that we've been covering. So for me, it was an absolute gold mine that I wanted to be a part of. And then I saw Alex was involved with the series now, and I was familiar with him through Jucas and some of the stuff that he had done before that. So I just hope that folks will take a look at RacingAmerica.tv on our social channels. Wednesday night, myself and Jess Ballard do a talk show similar to this called The Bull Ring at 7 o'clock Eastern time. And, I'm excited to get some APC drivers on there, and we'll be having, articles and more coverage through RacingAmerica.com. So I can't wait to get it going. We're probably going to announce it next week here to our audience, and I can't wait. I think it's going to be a great partnership.
I agree, Alan.
No, we have.
Sorry, Adam.
Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to say, and Alan touched on it a little bit there, and it's more than the broadcast partnership. As Alan mentioned, he's going to involve some of our folks on the show, also some articles on the website and different things. So there's different opportunities that will evolve from this, and he's going to be, Racing America fans are going to be privileged to get GeForce quality production. I know they're going to be really impressed with that, because I know we are. And most importantly, the best thing to do first is to go to Sunset Speedway May 20th for the DACA 150, our first 150 lap race in the series, and it's part of the NTN Triple Crown. So it's going to be an exciting race. You're going to want to be there for sure.
Like a true salesman.
Absolutely.
Alex and Alan, thanks so much for being here. We look forward to where this relationship takes us. It's and there's still more to come, folks. But Alex and Alan, thank you so much for your time tonight, and we will see you at the races.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Have a good night, guys. So, Adam, just to recap, these are simulcast deals. We're not folding, merging. At the core of everything we did, whenever we sat down in these meetings, I'm like, but wait a minute now. You know what GeForce is, right? We give it away free to the world. So how are we going to make this work? We also have great partners and our marketing partners who have supported us for the past couple seasons to help get this, to give away our great sport for free. You know what I feel like right now? I feel like the WNED, the pledge drive, where if you pledge $20, you can get this Kermit the Frog Muppet. And as soon as I said that, Kermit appears on my screen a little bit grayer.
I was
there
think-
with the black t-shirt.
I was thinking Waldorf or Stadler up in the balcony, right? Get
Never,
this.
you're gonna have,
Would
you're gonna
you?
have to deal with it. But back to seriousness, just let me finish the statement. G-Force
Mhm.
core mission is still intact. We'll be delivering live and free every event like we have in the past for Mosh Weekend, APC, everywhere else we have been, and what's on our schedule. But this means a repackage for Wednesdays on Rev and a simulcast of the APC events to Racing America. As we mentioned, Rev did want to go live, but the transmission systems are different. We can push it to 2 internets. We can't push it to internet and TV at the same cost. So keep working on it. Let's bring in our next
I
guest.
think we're better. Yeah, I think this is a really exciting next step, right? I think this is really cool. And would you believe, Clinton, our next guest is a fan of roller derby.
I love roller
Saw it
derby.
on the weekend. I was a little bit ticked he didn't invite me because it was only 15 minutes away, but he didn't. Joel Robinson, the owner of Fuel Media Labs, the producer of every stock car race that Canada has ever held. Joel, welcome.
Hi guys, how are you? Can you hear me okay?
We got you, buddy. Joel,
Okay.
we're here to make another big announcement, but first off, how are you holding up? The first Pinty's race of the season.
Good. I'm already
coming up.
tired. I'm already
Yeah,
tired.
I was gonna say.
What, May 5th. I just
No, you have
mowed
a
the
busy
lawn
weekend,
for the
though.
summer.
You bring all of the
Yeah.
drivers through for Friday, and then you have the race on Saturday. How are things going? And Adam, I would say Joel's probably got his ear to the ground in this series more than anybody. Like, if I want to know the dirt, I call Joel straight up. Who's got
No,
this?
you're
Who's
the
got
dirt
that?
guy. You're the dirt guy. I'm kind of in a little bit of everything. But
Joel carries a big pocket of Pinty's dirt around his pocket, and we ask him for what the story is. He pulls it out, and what do you want to know? No, Joel, let's all seriousness before we start bullshit. We're here to talk about something very important for the Osh Weekend side of things. It just popped up on a rundown. With your help, we're able to bring the sprints from Osh Weekend to TSN this summer as part of the Canadian Dirt Tour broadcast that Adam and I got to call, which was a lot of Quebec modified stuff last year and a bit of Ontario, but to expand it into 2 crate races and 2 360 races on the big channel on TSN. It's going to be amazing. Thank you so much for putting that together, and maybe tell us how that all came to be.
yeah, I mean, we just started talking, right? And last summer, Dominic Frugere and Dominic Lucier talked to me about doing some dirt races in Quebec. We got TSN on board. RDS was behind it. So we're continuing with that with the Urban Challenge Series presented by Chevrolet. We're going to do 5 races from there. And then, Clint, you started talking. I think we talk every other day. So then we start talking about doing some dirt races from Ohsweken. I said, let me see what we can do. We put something together. I was actually on the phone with TSN today for scheduling. We're going to run the Ohsweken races in September. So there'll be 4 half-an-hour shows every week in September for those races.
That's so awesome.
That is so exciting. Joel, this is the last time anyone will see you this year when you don't look like your head is about to explode. Like race day Joel is something special, and Clinton touched on it. But he's not wrong. I will come and see you when we get to Sunset, maybe before that. You will know every team, where their car came from, what it's doing. I mean, you are so plugged in to the racing season and to the race teams. How is it possible to know the amount of stuff that you do? Because you really are, and it's a lot of phone calling, I'm sure, but you know everything.
Yeah, it's a lot of phone calls, a lot of texts back and forth. I think I've been to 80% of the shops already. I've been through Quebec, been into some Ontario shops. I was at Flamborough today. There was Larry Jackson was testing today. I was at Sunset 3 times last week. So you just got to keep up on things. You want the guys, you want to know everything that's going on, and you want to protect the guys, and you want to get their message out. We're all storytellers. You guys are the main storytellers. I kind of give you the fill, and that's how we build stories, right? So you want to protect everybody and you want to showcase everything. We've got a limited time to get our message out on the airwaves, whether it's at the track or streaming or on TV. Doesn't matter what network you're on, whether you're on Rev or TSN or RDS. And you want to showcase what we can do as Canadians, whether it's the APC series or dirt track racing or street racing in Quebec or RS1 racing out west. We just got to get the message out there, and you just got to keep in touch with everybody and see how we can all work together. And I think that's really shown. I mean, you guys brought me in. I was a little bit bored in 2020, and I hadn't done a lot of dirt racing. You guys brought me in, and I loved it. It was fun when working for G-Force that summer.
Joel, we learned so much from you too. I mean, just even for me, how to treat the crew. You treat us so good. It's great to be a part of your deal. Let's talk about you on the fly though. Like Adam touched on it, race day Joel is scary. Like I wouldn't talk to race day Joel for about 5 years, and I worked for you. I just stay the hell away. But I understand what's going on. Unlike us, where we can take the whole thing and just let it unfold, and we can show it all. As this race is unpackaging, you are trying to figure out how you're going to cut this into a 1 hour or a 90 if it's an hour and a half broadcast for some of the longer ones. And as the storylines go on the fly, I mean, even myself, when I'm with Stan, my camera guy, sometimes I'll be like, that's never going to make it to show. I'm starting to figure out what you're going to cut. But, it's just, it's got to be so much pressure for you on the fly. I can't imagine what that's like.
It is and it isn't. I think I've gotten better with dealing with everything. You kind of let everything unfold, and then you're kind of processing in your head. There's more that you have to process than just the race. You have to process people and budgets, and you have to take a lot of what comes at you. We're kind of like fat Marines or nerdy Marines. You just got to take what you can get and work with it, right? And like last year when we were at CTMP and that tornado came through, we had a camera guy, a scaffolding sliced his head open, and we didn't even know if we were going to race because the track didn't have power. They got power back, and we, one of our series we do couldn't come back. They had $1 million worth of tents broken and gone through cars, and people were struggling. So you just got to kind of deal with what you got, and even travel these days. It was last 2 years have been tough. We did a lot of planes, trains, and automobiles with G-Force last summer, but we'll always have the chicken fingers standing by for you, Clinton, and keep you fed.
Some of the best meals I ate last year were in an airport.
It's easy to feed Clinton. He doesn't eat.
Pepsi.
And for those who don't know, Joel just turned 25 years old. So that this sport, his job will actually weather you quite a bit. But
it does. It does. You know what? I'm very privileged. I'm one of the few people in the country doing this full time, and everyone works hard at it. Whether you're a camera person or on camera, drone people, drivers, guys changing tires. Everyone works 110%. You see it, and you got to give each and every person their story. So, we talked about the dirt series. We also got to mention. Clinton, we talked about maybe, I think we're going to do the Big Z Memorial on G-Force Light, right?
Yeah, if you got the camera up, we got the voices, and we'll be there to catch it. So if you figure, I told you we're there for you that day. If you figure it's not going to encumber on what we're doing and we're standing around eating cheeseburgers, let's absolutely grab her,
Yeah, I think we're going to get that done. We got lots on the go Saturday, so God, I hope the weather's good. And, it's Mother's Day after, so no one wants to race on Mother's Day. So we'll get her in Saturday. Really looking forward to the Pinty's race. There's a lot going on. This new kid, Thomas Nouveau, will be interesting in a Jacobs Mustang. And, man, we got so many guys, like multiple guys are hitting some milestones this year. Lacroix with 100 races. DJ's going to hit 200 this year. Be interested to see what Dexter does back at Team 3 Red, and Gannett. He's got 2 new cars. He's got a show this year. So A lot of swapping
So
of teams, and we'll see what happens.
now fill me in on this. This is one of the things I'm going to ask you about. So Gannett is running for EHR, but his grandfather bought a car. What's
Yeah.
going to
So
happen with that? So who's going to drive that?
the grandfather is. The
Oh wow, okay.
grandfather is Jacques, and he runs a old Pinty's car at iCar as a regional car. He's also got a NASCAR truck, I think he bombs around in. And he runs iCar pretty consistently. And I think he's in his late 70s. And he's got a WMI car en route. And I think they've got some work still to do on it. They're doing it at iCar. They're finishing it off. I was just there the other day because so he's going to run iCar definitely, and he might run a couple of other road courses just in Quebec, I believe.
Cool.
I was at iCar because we're doing a. Sorry, go ahead.
Those are the stories that are fun, right? And folks don't
Totally, yeah.
It's not that I know nothing, but there's so much bullshit that goes on in the off season. I wait until we're almost to the week, and even then, things change by the time that you show up to race day. You can fill your head
Yeah.
with so much bad information that you're out to lunch. So I wait until we're close and then get in there, and Joel is like the Cole's Notes of the NASCAR Pinty series. So I open up my Cole's Notes and I go to town. I cram for the exam with Joel Robinson.
Well, you got to filter it out too. You got to see who you're getting that info from too, because some guys like to steer you the wrong way, and then they laugh when they hear it on the TV or on the stream. So
Yep.
you just got to filter it out and call them on it as they go. So it's gonna be fun this year. Looking forward to it. And like we're gonna have 5 Newfoundland drivers at that Newfoundland event. That's gonna be huge. So
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's great to see them regionally jumping in. Like even out west, we get a couple of them jumping in too, which is we can keep growing that footprint. We're going to be better off. Joel, all the work starts for you for real on Friday when you get the drivers through the car wash. Let's explain to our viewers maybe what the car wash is, and then let us know when they can watch the stream, where they can find it this year on live, and when the show will be repackaged and when that will air. What's a car wash?
yeah, so the car wash started about 7 years ago with TSN bringing all the drivers into their studios at in Agent Court in Scarborough and doing basically doing what Fox does with the big cup drivers. They put them up, and then we built 15-second promos, and that's continued. And that's TSN on TSN. They're basically behind that. They're footing the bill. I put some creative into it. We've got some cool stuff we're doing this year. I work with a guy who specializes in this type of work named Nigel. We're going to build a studio in the barn at Sunset. We'll be in and out in 7 hours. And we basically run all the full-time guys through. We've got some lines for them to say, and we will make 15-second promos of those drivers that will run continuously throughout the summer on TSN's Cup and Xfinity programs. So not only will you see the Pinty's drivers on the Pinty series, you will see them at the Cup level, and you will see them at the Xfinity level. And we do the same. We've expanded that to RDS too. So those French-speaking drivers will have that play on RDS, and it's big. RDS is a huge. We are really focused on TSN, but RDS gets huge numbers in Quebec. Doesn't matter what you're racing, they'll watch it. Moving on to the stream. We're going to be on TSN Plus this year, and that is still free. So last year you went on TSN on the app. You had to be a TSN subscriber or pay for streaming service. This year you can find that if you download TSN Plus, and that's part of your TSN app. And also on Flow. Flow is a big partner with NASCAR, and all their regional events are featured on Flow and will be live. So all 14 Pinty's races will be live. And then what else did we ask? I can't remember anymore.
When does the finished polished broadcast air?
Finished. TSN always airs a week later, so they try to combine that with Cup. So we'll be on just before Cup. And I know the first race will air Sunday, the 21st at 4 p.m. And I think Cup might be on Saturday that night, so we might be after or before an IndyCar race. So now that TSN's got IndyCar, TSN is now the home for motorsport in Canada. All due respect to some other networks, but with IndyCar, Rally Car, the Canadian Dirt Series coming on TSN, NASCAR Pinties, Xfinity, Cup, they got it all there, and even motorcycle programs. So a lot of the national programs are on TSN, and they really try to work with us and get everything out there as much as we can.
We're proud to be a
and,
part of it,
and
Joel.
that's exactly so proud to be able to be on TSN. And I'll tell you, those promos for the Pinty series this season, I got a little bit tired of hearing my voice and Clint's voice, but oh my goodness, man, they turned
cool,
out so cool. Yes.
Yeah. We work with a guy named Chris Bose in Montreal, and he builds those for me. And man, they're good. I can never really feel if you guys are liking them because they're your voices and they're from the streams, and we put them in the year in review show. And I love building the year in review show. It's a labor of love. It's 6 weeks long, but with your voices and Greg's and Dave Bradley and Moody, I think it really works.
No, I that's a thing. We can't stand to watch ourselves, but when it's good, it makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up, and I can, every time I see those commercials, I make sure I'm watching to catch them on the big cup races too. It's super cool.
Yeah, they won't run anymore because Sunset's this weekend, but we got a good play there. It was pretty cool. This is our 17th year doing the Pinty series, so it's pretty cool. I think I've been working with Adam every year since then, and Clint, you came on a couple of years ago. It's been fun, and working with Dave and Todd, and it's a blast. It's be our 30th season starting this year, including CASCAR. So looking forward to it.
Let's hope the Tasha's out, Adam. The race is coming up this weekend.
I've been fired by Joel 16 times.
Not at all.
If this is the 17th year, at the end of every year, you're fired. See you in the spring.
We're always fired. If I still was wondering if there's any pictures of you in that fire suit at Vernon that we squeezed you into.
The hottest day I've ever experienced in my life. Good times.
All right, Joel, thanks for being with us. We'll see you this weekend.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Joel.
Joel Robinson, Fuel Media, produces all the TSN stuff, and going to be our new TSN producer for the Sprint Car Sodash weekend for 4 events. Super pumped about that, to bring that back to our guys. It's been a heck of a show. Those are all our big announcements we've got, but what it's been. So to recap, G-Force TV will be working out some broadcast partnerships. We will be repackaging our weekly events for Wednesday night, Full Force on Rev TV, presented by G-Force. And then you're going to see a simulcast, the APC races, live to RacingAmerica.com in the States, and a huge NASCAR market, which is big for those teams and partners. And then you're going to see us also work with Joel from Mosh Weekend to do some sprint car races on TSN, which is massive. So what a great show it's been. I want to thank all our partners for coming on to talk about it. And, as we said from the beginning, our core mission will still be the same. If you've been enjoying G-Force for the past 4 years, you continue to keep doing that. But it's also so many more eyes. Like, just think about it, Adam. Rev's got 1.3 million viewers. We had 1 million views last year. So in one night on Rev, if everybody happened to catch it, which is obviously not going to happen, but potential's there. New eyes, new markets, and people who've never maybe, like, if you're in a hole in the middle of, out in the country, in the middle of let's say New Brunswick, maybe you probably never heard of G-Force TV, but now you're going to get to discover it because of Rev TV and see all the other great programming we've got. So super cool.
And I think, Clinton, it's always been our goal. Like, we've never wanted to work in a silo and just make good content or produce a good product and own it and draw people in. We've always wanted to grow. I want more people to see us, more people to hear us and watch what we get to watch. You know what I mean? It's always whatever we could. I want to know why you've had that shit-eating grin on your face all night. Like, you don't smile in this whole hour. You've had that grin. Like, I know something you don't know. What is going on?
My microphone's working. That's what's going on. No,
Oh,
I mean, hey, this was a lot of work behind the scenes to pull this together, and I think excited to get it going. I think maybe halfway through the show, it hit me that it's officially racing season now. Like, we're going at it. Friday and Saturday it kicks off, and the marathon begins for us. Yeah, big shout out to Ricky. How about Ricky and the crew at Osh Weekend working in the background to get it all going? Let's talk about that for a second because we were on the topic. I didn't think it happened. Yesterday I was telling Doug I don't think so. I would bet against it. Tonight, Bowman said, what are we talking, Leafs in 7 or Weekend on Friday? So I'm betting on Weekend, baby. Glenn's out there working, and he says it's going to be good to go. So looks like we'll be practicing Friday night. And as we're on the air, Doug sent out pit notes.
Yeah, I saw that. The nice thing with Glenn, too, he's got a stubborn determination, right? So when he says, this is what we're going to do, there's a good chance this is what we're going to do. Like sometimes, and I don't talk to him. Like obviously, you're in his ear a lot more than I am. But when there's silence, like we may go this weekend, we may not go this weekend. But when he's got his mind set towards something, he'll do what needs to be done to make it happen.
I can't bullshit you. I looked around the pits today when he said it, and it was kind of like, sure we are. And he said, you're going to see what kind of crew I got. And he said, you're going to see how quickly we can pull this together. And I said, all right, prove me wrong. So 2 minutes later, he was on the grader making it happen. So I'm quite confident now with the weather and where we are that we'll be on the track practicing at 7 o'clock Friday night at Oshwegan. Pinty Series kicks off Saturday at sunset. So, I mean, it's been a long off season. If you're into that, you make sure you get up there and check that out. So many great storylines with the Pinty Series, Adam, this year. It's going to be awesome.
Well, let's talk about they rolled out the staff list this afternoon, Clinton. So Doug Gonder, the series director, good for Doug. I think he presents very well. Like he looks the part, he plays the part, he talks the part. Fabulous. How about Sam Putnam, series technical director? If you want to catch a cheater, buddy, what do, Clinton?
You get a good one.
That's all I'm saying. Gary Nelson did a lot of great things for NASCAR after he did a lot of great things on the pit box. So I'm pretty pumped that Sam Putnam has taken on that role. Who else was on that list of note? A bunch of jabronis doing the broadcast. Who else was listed there? Stephanie, of course, is back as the series coordinator.
Yeah. I don't have it in front of me, so I can't bring it up.
Doug Gonder, Sam Putnam, Mike Hennig. That's what it was. Mike Hennig is the head of Mike is the head of officiating anyhow. He always has been. When there is a fight in the Pinty series, before he was driving the pace vehicle, Mike Hennig was always in there with this stern look. Yeah, Rob Sharp, the race director. Thank you, Cam. I needed that. That's what I get for bringing something up when I don't have it on paper in front of me. Caitlin Patrick doing the media.
That's why I just kind of let you go with it. I'm like, ooh, you start naming names, buddy. That's the first rule of broadcasting.
Yeah, good point. Good point. One more thought about Joel Robinson, Clinton. He has made everybody who works around him better. His attention to detail, the quality, nobody in the business, anywhere, puts out as high a quality of product as Joel does. And the other NASCAR Touring Series would love to have the package, the knowledge, the product that he puts out there. And it just makes all of us look and sound better.
You left Matthew Manor off list, the series photographer, Adam.
Screw Matt Manor. He cussed me out once in the Toronto Indy Victory Lane. No more love for Matt Manor.
And Kendra also working on Joel's group. So welcome everybody back. Getting ready to go at it. We'll be up there bright and early Saturday morning. So no, sprint's not weekly. Just we'll be filming the NASCAR 2 nights there for the crates and the 360s, and now we'll air in September. But yeah, it's gonna be cool. Looks like 10 races from Schweeken on Rev, 10 APC and quick races on Rev. Looking for another great summer. So we appreciate everybody for being with us. We got to go. We got to get to sleep. We got 2-3 days to sleep and then back at it for 6 months.
And I stand by my comments, Clinton. I think tonight was huge. If you're a racer in Ontario, it is huge. If you're a race fan in Ontario, this was a huge show. Fabulous announcements by some great people who came on to join us. And I'm excited. I'm excited for the promoters. I'm excited for the teams. And, of course, excited for us.
Yeah, it's going to be great. A lot more eyes on the product, and that's all we've been trying to do is push the sport forward. We could probably do things a lot differently and make a lot more money, but it's all about trying to get it out there. And our core crew wants this sport to be as best as it can be. And some of these things came out. Thanks, everybody, for joining us every Tuesday. For all our new viewers, we're here every Tuesday. Thank you for joining us. The numbers were quite up tonight due to our big announcements, and we appreciate that. We're here to talk. If you got anything you want to talk about, come on out. Next week, I think we need to get D-Dubs back. Dylan Westbrook has been in the chat. People have been talking about him quite a bit. He's coming back to Race Launch Weekend, big story off the ASCS Tour. So we'll try and get D-Dubs back for everybody. And, of course, anybody else you want, let us know. We'll talk at you soon. And we'll be live in a week and a bit.